Welcome, beautiful people. This is the walkthrough presented by us, the students of the game, and class begins now. And here we are. Hope you guys are having a beautiful week so far. I'm your host, Gentry and Jett, joined here by the ever handsome Jett Wilson. Jett, how are you feeling on Mount Juliet week?
I'm feeling, first off, good to be back in the studio.
Great to be back in the studio. We're at a cool room temperature right here, so my hands can be as expressive as normal. I've got to keep them in the pockets, okay? You will not be able to see any smoke or fog coming out of my breath. I didn't want any speculation out there. I promised it was 39 degrees. I was not vaping. I was not smoking. I don't want any speculation out there. This is a family-friendly program.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to like and subscribe. You can listen to us anywhere, not only on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And Students of the Game TN is our Instagram handle where you can follow us for a one-stop shop. Any updates, tack it at gmail.com onto that, and you can send us questions for a long-awaited fireside chat. I'm itching for those.
I gotta interrupt you right there.
Please do.
I didn't tell you this when we were prepping it, but I just got this overwhelming feeling I need to say
gut
this,
reaction. Okay, I'm just like the audience. This is news to me. There's no teleprompter.
We've given the speech a little bit about cheering the boys on.
Okay.
Every time we've given it, it's been at the end of the episode.
Okay.
So I wanted to start right here, because this is an important thing.
Okay.
Without sounding like a broken drum.
No, Jeff. It's okay.
Oh
We're gonna walk
God.
through this. It's all right. We're gonna
What
gonna enter a mini segment of the chalkboard, but instead of plays, we're gonna do famous sayings and anecdotes.
Is it a
okay?
what is it?
I'm getting there.
Beating a dead horse.
No, okay. There's two sayings. The first one is you don't want to sound like you're beating a dead horse.
Right.
The second one is you don't want to sound like a broken record.
Oh yeah.
However, I will start a hashtag movement because I think the best saying of all time that you've made up is I don't want to sound like a beating a dead drum or broken to beating a dead drum. And so let's get that straight. Now that we have that straight,
I'm gonna mess it up again.
Okay.
I'm just gonna avoid the saying
all together. Okay, I think this sounds like a good plan.
I'll just get straight to the point.
I love that idea.
These boys put so much into this game, so much that we don't get to see as fans. The games are our time to go and show the support, show the love for what they've done. Ways we can do this, practical ways. In between any quarter, cheering the boys on, showing them, hey, we'll support you. Great job that time. We appreciate your effort. Encouraging them to prepare and do good for that next quarter.
Yes.
Anytime the boys come out on the field for the first time, after halftime, beginning of the game, and they feel that. They really feel that, and it will really change the way that they play. So I think we need to get loud. We need to encourage the boys. Third downs, in between quarters, are great times where we can get show love to these players. They put in so much work for us, and we're there as fans. That's our job as fans, is to support them in any way we can, and we're lacking in that.
I couldn't agree more. I love how not only we're going to get to your keys to victory later, but I loved your keys for the fans right there. Keys to the fans. I absolutely love that. The players feed off of adrenaline. The more energy they feel off of us, the more their adrenaline is pumping. You're right. They can't necessarily hear what we're saying in general, like specific words. They're locked into the game, but they do feel that energy. I was in Neyland Stadium this past weekend, as you know, and on third down, when Alabama was on third down, everything was going crazy. The speakers were going crazy. The band was going crazy. The student section was going crazy. The parents were going, every fan was going nuts, and there was multiple illegal procedures by Alabama. This is Alabama we're talking about, you know what I mean? And so, it matters at the highest level, which means it will matter at this level.
And I know that it was shaking in there in between the third and fourth quarter, like when they're not even playing the game on the field. That the players really do feed off that, and they deserve that. They put in so much hard work. The least that we can do is clap and get loud and cheer for them.
We're not going to have those Brentwood seats where we can bang on the back of those seats that just echo throughout. And so what we have to do is get creative, right? Okay, so I love that. I completely agree. Speaking of the players, one of our favorite segments, Jett, before we get into the game, I want to talk about, since we're talking about the players right now, we're going to go into our Lance Cook segment. He's not here live with us anymore. How great was that, though, last time?
So special.
We appreciate you, but he is dialed in for this one, okay? We're going to go to LT himself for the segment, Good Comp, Bad Comp. Sirens going. Give me the sirens going. Okay. LT himself, Luke Thompson. Hard comp. I'll give Lance credit for this because he is a two-way player. Okay, special teams as well. Three-way player returns. He had a great punt return in the Ravenwood game. He almost housed this. He makes plays on offense, make plays on defense, make plays in the return game. And when I texted Lance this, his response was Deebo Samuel. His reasoning was, hey, he can make those long plays. He can kind of make every play, he with yards after the catch, deep balls go up and everything. And so his comp was Deebo Samuel. But Jett, this is your segment, so give me good comp or bad comp.
First off, I think every reason that Lance had to choose Deebo was right.
I agree.
Think all of those reasons support the comp. But I might have to lean the other way and go bad comp.
Oh, no. Not since the first week have we given Lance Cook a bad comp.
To defend Lance, not a lot of film out on Luke Thompson.
That's right.
So
good
also,
point.
Announcement to Luke Thompson, if you're watching, or anyone close to Luke Thompson.
Yes.
Dude, you need to get film out right now.
Absolutely.
You are way too good of a player to not have film out on Huddle. If you have any interest in playing football at the next level, I think you 1,000% would have that opportunity, but you have to get film out right now.
I completely agree.
Right now, go back at your plays. Choose your best 20 plays. Any highlight play. It's got to be 2-3 minutes. Not simple. Best plays first. Best to worst. Very simple. You have to get film out. Without further ado,
come on now.
A comp I really like, and this was a hard one.
This was hard. We took a long time to really discuss this. We see him every single week.
Yeah, seeing him every week, it was still a really hard comp because he's such a unique skill set. But the one we really finally landed on was Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin's a great comp. I think that fits him to a T. I think shout out Carson Young. I think Lucas, Mr. 8020's older brother, I think, helped us with this comp as well, and we completely agreed. I love that. I love what you said about the highlight tape as well. We talked to his dad, old KT, before the game. He still absolutely jocked, I would do whatever. If he told me to do something, I would do it. So if you're listening to this, please go tell LT to get his highlight tape out there.
He needs to get his film out.
And so, okay, now that we've gotten through that segment, let's go to the Mount Juliet game. Here we go. This is the preview episode. And so, Jett, you know what I like to do. Okay, I'm a creature of habit here. Before I talk about this year's game, I like to go to last year's game into a new segment. Since I do it so often, I'm going to call Back to the Future. Okay, here we go. So, Jett, take me back to the future of last year's game.
Yeah. And if you're a part of the Franklin faithful, you don't need to be reminded what happened in this game.
The City of Angels and sings Hallelujah around this game last year.
8-0 Mount Juliet came to Franklin last year. It got really handled by the 0-8 Franklin team. Franklin picked up their first win in a long time in really a dominating fashion. They went down 7-0 but responded with 21 unanswered points, 14 in the fourth quarter, led by Gok. He had 3 touchdowns. Nickname time. The King of Franklin. The King of Franklin. John Gok.
Okay. Right. The King of Franklin.
I heard he lives at Tony's.
Yeah, okay.
King of Frank. Gok, 3 touchdowns led us last year. Tommy on defense had 9 tackles. But this was really the game where the boys finally put it all together. Offense played good. They were efficient. Defense played great. Really shut down this Mount Juliet team. And it ended up in a big win for the Admirals.
I love that idea. A palindrome of games this was. This was 8-0 versus 0-8. This is Dr. Defense when he was the interim head coach at the time last year. It was his first full week of to have the boys of practice and to really scheme up everything. And boy, was that some old school Rebel / Admiral defense right there. I mean, they shut down everything Mount Juliet had. Mount Juliet was more of a power run team, and that's Dr. Defense's specialty. I mean, they shut it down, and then, like you said, Gaka just popped off. And am I allowed to give a nickname? Because I also had a nickname for Doc. So here's what we're going to do. I have an idea. We'll send a poll out to which nickname. Okay. So the viewers vote. Okay, let the fans vote. Because I mentioned earlier, I thought about this when I was talking about how much of an artist he was when he ran. Give me Vincent Van Gogh. Okay? Because he's just an artist. Okay, is that not?
Oh my gosh,
so
that's great.
We'll give a poll.
That's great.
We'll give a poll. Studio audience loves that. Okay, all right. Thank you, the studio.
That's a good one.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Mom. Right? Okay, yeah. There you go. Producer Chuck likes it as well. So we'll put a poll out for that one. But yes, he popped off. He really led our offense when And Dr. Defense shut them down. So I completely agree. This was such a moment, a real turning point for this Franklin team, I think, last year. Really started there. I mean, because then they go on to beat Overton the next week, and now all of a sudden they went from going 0-8 to a win streak, right? And so I think they carried that momentum a lot, and they beat Centennial, and then they go on get a couple wins when Brewer comes back this year.
For sure.
And so this was such an important game. All right, Jed, now that we've talked about Mount Juliet game last year, talk to me about this year's Mount Juliet team.
Yeah, looking around at the guys they have, I think they have a pretty good amount of returners from last year. I see a lot of familiar guys on the field. They're coming into this game at 8-0, just like they were last season. But looking at their schedule, it's not a lot of great ball clubs. Their closest games have been 38 to 28 win, versus Cookeville, and last week actually a 24 to 21 win against Lebanon. Watching the news on Friday night, just seeing what's going on around,
watching the news.
around
I know you read the newspaper in the mornings.
Only the Fox Football Frenzy.
Okay.
But I think they said Lebanon only completed like 1 or 2 passes
That's
in that
crazy.
game.
Okay,
crazy to have that and stay that close against a team like Mount Juliet. So it's really hard to tell how good they are from their schedule because of their level of competition. But offensively, it looks like they really want to run the ball. They go under center, which is something that we haven't seen this season. They have a quarterback that is a straight pocket passer.
Yep.
He's a good passer of the ball, but
they
will
really roll him out sometimes. But he's always still looking to pass.
Right.
To your point.
He's not scrambling around really. But the main thing they really want to do is establish that run game and run the ball.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of that run game, specifically to talk about what run plays they like to run, we're going to go into the chalkboard. Bring it up, baby. Bring it up. All right, the play we're going to talk about here with the chalkboard is outside zone. And I know what everybody's thinking. You're thinking, Gentry, what's the big news about? What's the big idea about outside zone? Everybody runs outside zone, but not exactly the way Mount Juliet does. So what you'll see here is the running back is one step behind the quarterback. He's offset. Okay, normally the reason they do that is if they're running inside zone so that he can get downhill, because inside zone is trying to hit these A gaps. Okay, if he were to run outside zone, normally, that running back is going to be even with the quarterback based off of their mesh track. Okay, and so that will always tip the defense off usually. And in the NFL, some ways that to not tip the defense off they would do is they would have a quarterback after the snap take a step back to get even with the running back. But what Mount Juliet does, Chip Kelly did that with the Eagles, Mike Vick, Shady McCoy. What the Mount Juliet does is they actually have the running back post-snap go behind the quarterback, and he'll actually fully turn it around and give it to him in the normal outside zone. Then everything else is normal, and you'll go reach to climb, reach, climb, reach, climb, double team. Jed, any thoughts on that before I talk about anything else they have to say?
Yeah, you can put it down. I really like what they do with their formation, how they run multiple things out of the same thing, because that's a big thing. The formations report, we're getting every single Monday in college, we get the scouting report that has formations report, and they look at every single play, track the data. You really wouldn't believe how much goes into the scouting report, but where people are lined up is something they look at every week. So I remember seeing exactly like you said, running back flat, 85% outside zone, running back behind the quarterback, 85% inside zone, running back in front of the quarterback, like 85% pass. So that's something teams definitely look at, is try to pick up on those tendencies. So props to Mount Juliet for running different things out of one look and not giving tips to your tendencies pre-snap.
Things that look the same but are different, okay? Right. Everything as an offensive guy or a defensive guy, you want to even out tendencies as much as possible because that makes you less predictable. To your point on the scouting report, when like in college, when we got film, it listed the formation and the plays, so you can just sort and easily calculate that data throughout everything. But some of the also things they do, they will pass the ball, and when they do, they go the opposite. They will spread everything out of the empty formation, and they'll run verticals, okay? The outside guys will do what we call mandatory outside release verticals, okay? MORs we call them, just in case it's man. That turns the corner's eyes away from everybody else, okay? So mandatory outside release, you got to be on the outside shoulder of the corners. They're going deep. If the corners are off, they have options to convert it to a hitch. The inside guys, the number 2 receivers will run their seams, and then you'll have a third guy kind of running straight up the middle. And they're trying to hit those seams or the middle guy, okay? The outside guys are kind of just decoys. That's where the quarterback likes to throw, because all quarterbacks like to throw up in the middle.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think this Franklin team hasn't been challenged really in shots. They haven't been challenged down the field. compared to what a team usually does. I think Mount Juliet is going to. I think Mount Juliet is going to try to stretch the ball down the field. In the few games I watched, they did try to do that. I would like to see how Franklin responds to these deep balls because obviously it's a huge play in the game.
And to their point, we just talked about an empty formation, no running backs, no tight end, how they spread everything out. Jett, because we talked about they do a good job. They're a good team of eliminating tendencies. Right. They will get in the faithful, to your mention, they'll not only go under center, they will get in the I formation. And normally when you see I formation, you're expecting a big power back. But that's not always the case. Jett, my junior year, your freshman year, we made the playoffs and we went out to Memphis to play Whitehaven out there at their home stadium called The Haven. Okay, and they were very, very big about that. Remember about The Haven? Okay, so that we went to play the Haven, and they walked out in their I formation. I'm expecting this big Derrick Henry-like running back out there, but no, the guy they pitched this ball to could fly. He was so quick. They had nicknamed him Special K. Okay, that was his nickname, and I thought, how good could a guy be when he's named after a cereal? But you could call this guy Special K, Frosted Flakes, Fruity Pebbles, I don't care what you call him. This dude was quick. He reminded me more of Tavon Austin. Yeah. You ever heard of that guy? How about Tavon Austin out of West Virginia?
About the greatest college highlight
tape. If you've ever seen it, look it up. I mean, just unbelievable. So it's not always, but in this case, they do have a power running back, and they will run power out of the I formation. Okay. Fullback. I mean, they have a fullback, Jett. 21 personnel.
They do. They want to run that thing.
One tight end. Okay. Jett, now talk to me about some of Franklin's specific keys to victory going into this game.
Yeah, so this is, I think it goes without saying, we ruined their season last year.
Yes, they came in 8-0, yeah.
Major upset. They thought they were going to walk in our stadium and do whatever they wanted to us, and we ended up upsetting them, beating them. I think they're going to come back for blood this year. They're not going to. It's going to be their Super Bowl. It's the biggest game they've played their entire season.
Absolutely.
It's the first really challenge that they faced.
Agreed.
They're going to prepare hard. So I think we have to match that. We have to match that. Coming off 2 losses, this is a big game for our momentum going into the playoffs, and it's not going to come easy. I don't want us to think just because we mopped the floor with them last year, it's going to be a given this year. It's a good 6A football team. So the key to victory is going to be discipline.
I love everything about that. Elaborate.
Discipline covers a wide range of things.
It does.
And it starts...
But probably the most important thing when it comes to winning football games.
Yes, right. Discipline starts right now. This key to victory is not a game plan thing for Friday night. This is right now. It starts with preparation. Discipline in your preparation, discipline in watching your film. We have to prepare like champions to beat this team because they're going to do that. We cannot let them out-prepare us. And then bleeding into how discipline affects us on Friday night, penalties have killed us.
Absolutely.
Penalties have absolutely killed us. We talked about how many times we shot ourselves in the foot last week, how many times we were in scoring position and got pulled out of it because of penalties. Discipline. We got to be disciplined. Get back to the ball. I know this is something that they're working on right now inside the team, so I'm excited to see how they improve on this. But it also, continuing discipline, what else does it cover?
Yeah.
Knowing your assignment, doing your assignment.
Doing your job.
That comes from preparation. It also comes from just being ready on Friday night when your name's called. What do you say about discipline?
No, I think discipline, to your point, not only starts now, I think it starts 9 months ago or in summer practices and in spring practice. I think that discipline goes far beyond the field. I think discipline goes making sure you're getting good grades in classes. Yep. You know what I mean? I think it's, if there's a piece of trash on Franklin's campus, have pride, pick it up, go throw it away. That's going to sound corny, and it's going to sound like, what does that matter? And I know I've mentioned this before, but I'll tell you when it matters. On 4th and 1, on 3rd and goal, in big games. That's when discipline matters. To your point, right? Ravenwood, right? Let's journey back just a little bit. We had 1st and goal on the goal line. Then within 2 plays, we were 15 yards back.
Yep.
Okay, that's a touch. That's a 7-point. So and then we miss. Then we don't convert on the field goal. That's a 7-point swing right there between the goal line. That is when it matters. And so I think that it's really in the detail. Okay, and details comes in preparation of what are you watching film, right? Are you going to understand? Are you going to be one step ahead when Mount Juliet's quarterback drops back, and you're going to read that and jump in front of the player. You're going to run the route for the receivers, right? Are you going to know the DB's tendencies, right? Are you looking at every single detail, how they line up, how their legs are lined up, how they shake their hands, right? Which way they favor, that's when the discipline really matters, is going above and beyond. And so, go ahead.
Calling out the senior class, guys. This is it.
It will go as you go. Yes.
I don't care where you go play college football. It will not. Probably, unless you go to Alabama or Tennessee. It will not live up to playing Friday nights at Franklin. I promise you, from experience. This is all you guys got. 2 weeks left of this regular season. Playoffs after that, who knows how long we'll be going. But guaranteed 3 weeks with your boys to give everything you got. And I promise the rest of your life, no matter how hard you work, you're going to look back and wish you worked a little bit harder.
Jett, what our head coach in college used to say, the worst feeling a man can feel is what, Jett? It's regret, okay? Anger goes away. Sadness goes away. Happiness goes away. Jealousy goes away. But nothing will tear at you more than regret, because you can't go back and change it. And so minimize regrets as soon as possible, to your point. Go all out there. Do it for the guy next to you. You know what I mean? I know we've talked about that before.
I promise you, you do not want to get to the point where you're walking off the field after your last game, whether it is a loss or it's a winning the state championship. You do not want to walk off that field thinking about all the things you could have done
more.
I could have done this. Man, I wish I did this a little bit more. I could have helped our team. I could have helped myself. You do not want that feeling. So give everything you guys can right now. It's just a couple weeks, home stretch, baby.
You got this.
I know this.
You got this. We believe in you guys. We know you guys. You got it. Come on now. Get you juiced up a little bit.
This is a time where you start letting off the gas a little bit. You start getting tired of practice. You're ready to have the long afternoons, doing whatever you want, playing at the rec, whatever. This is the time to grind.
Hang out at Tony's,
So I know the voice inside your head is going to tell you to let off the gas. Yeah. Do the opposite. Give everything you got, because this is the home stretch.
Yeah, we ready, right? We ready over here to watch you boys. Okay, here we go. Jett, any final thoughts on the game before we go to the rest of the Pulse Nation?
I'm excited. I hope everyone makes the trip out to Mount Juliet.
Please do. What a beautiful drive. That'll be a long one. I don't know if we'll be able to keep producer Chuck up late that night doing the podcast. We might need to get him a wake-up call here. Okay, going to the rest of the Pulse of the Nation and Williamson County games. Jett, say it with me. We're going into 3, 2, 1, the lightning round. All right, that was okay, all right. We've got Glencliff at Hillsboro. I guess I'm going Glencliff. I mean, we've been riding them.
We have been riding Glencliff.
So I'm going to rock it.
I'm going to go Hillsboro.
All right, we're going to... Okay. Fade me, why don't you? Okay. I think Overton, Stratford, I think that's what that says. I guess maybe I'll take Overton.
I'll take Overton.
Webb at BGA. I'm taking BGA. They're still slinging around.
Yeah, BGA.
Page at Centennial.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Give me Page. Give me. I mean, they're just a wagon in that 5A.
I don't do that for some reason. I mean, we all know it's Centennial, big L. But I'm gonna pick them in this game to take Page.
Yes, and you know what? I was at the UT Bama game. I know I've talked about this. Probably sounding like a broken drum. I'm beating a broken drum. Okay.
The drum's definitely broken.
We've talked about this. They have a tradition. Whoever wins that game smokes cigars after the game. Yeah. I think the Battle of Franklin going forward, whoever wins that game, we bring the cigar tradition to the Battle of Franklin Centennial for the future. Just want to throw that out there.
Let it marinate a little bit.
CPA FRA, I'm taking both two undefeated teams. These are two powerhouses. This is a huge game.
Great game.
Give me CPA. I've been in that Lions Den. I've been in FRA. Give me the Lions Den. Give me CPA.
Give me FRA.
Okay, here we go. That'll be a good one to like.
I think they might, just from seeing FRA. I haven't seen CPA. I think the FRA coaches are just some of the best in the state. They really have those guys ready to play.
Yep.
Great plays schematically on offense. Give me FRA. And those CPAs ranked like top 3 in the state right now. But give me FRA in the upset.
Ravenwood and Oakland, another powerhouse of teams. Game. I think I don't really see it at Oakland much, so I'm going Ravenwood.
I've heard Oakland's a little down this year, but I don't know. I think Ravenwood just really did not impress me offensively last week. Give me Oakland. I bet they shut them down.
I love that. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. Nolensville at Summit. Maybe give me Nolensville here. I'm leaning them.
Yeah, give me Nolensville.
Fairview at Sycamore. Got to go Fairview, producer Chuck.
Fairview, let's go.
All right, now hopping over to the college games. We're going to one of our newer segments, The Road to Glory. Okay, Jett. Now we're going to do a new segment within the Road to Glory that you came up with. But before we do that, we're going to start with the line of the week. Mine is Miami minus 21 against Florida State. I think they just absolutely run away with it.
Yeah, I love that line, dude. I'm definitely going to be telling you on that. Miami's had a couple close games the last couple of weeks, but the Florida State team's just awful.
Do you have a line of the week as well?
I do. My line of the week, I'm going to go Indiana minus 6.5.
I just knew we were traveling to the Midwest.
Indiana minus 6.5 versus Washington.
I love that.
Indiana's at home.
And I think... Okay, go ahead. No, finish. Well, I just want to warn you a little bit.
Is it good for me or is it bad?
Indiana's quarterback might be out.
Oh, he did hurt his hand.
Okay, but I still kind of like it because it's a touchdown.
Well, I watched the game last week, and their backup did come in number 2.
I feel good. Yeah, I feel good about that.
I just really like this Indiana team. I think they're very well coached. If you
don't know who the coach is, Google him.
Yeah,
that's what he said. He said Google him.
Stagnetti, I think. He's a beast. Dude. He's got those guys ready.
A Paisan, it sounds like.
They have the most transfers in FBS.
Wow, okay. He came from James Madison.
Where he won.
Yes.
Google. Huge game last week against Nebraska. That's absolutely destroyed Nebraska.
For those of you in the Midwest.
They were 6.5-point favorites last week versus Nebraska. Blew them out 56-7. 6.5-point favorites at home again this week versus Washington. I'm going to continue to ride on the undefeated Indiana.
I love that. Now going to Jett's news segment. Okay, and I was laughing earlier just thinking about how we're going to introduce this new segment. Jett, we are going to pick an underdog of the week in our news segment. Who let the underdogs out? Okay, let's go. Okay, you start the segment.
We're so not Georgia fans, by the way, but we are some dogs.
All right, give me your underdog.
Dog of the week. Give me my dog of the week. I'm going to take Navy. Give me the midshipmen. To beat Notre Dame. Number 12 Notre Dame versus number 24, I think, Navy. Notre Dame is 12.5-point favorites. Navy is plus 350. They have such a great ball club this year.
Yeah.
Those guys they play very disciplined. They play the game the right way. Notre Dame's had a couple hiccups through this season.
Yep.
They're going to be ready to play against this Navy team. It's not. This isn't a sleeper pick.
Absolutely.
Navy's a really good team.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to pick them to upset Notre Dame at home. It is at Navy, too, which helps them out.
Yep.
So I'm going to pick Navy to upset.
Okay, you say you're not a Georgia fan, but you were very enthused with those dog howls. So if I hear you yelling, "What's that coming down the track?" I'm going to look over and be like, "Whoa, easy now." If I ever hear that, I'll be looking out for that. My dog of the week is going to be Michigan State at Michigan. Michigan's just going through some organizational changes, and I think Michigan State's who's always pumped up for this game. This is one of those rivalry games where anything can happen, and so because Michigan is doing some organizational changes, and because it's a rivalry game and Michigan State's going to be ready to play, I think they take the dub.
I like that.
They're 5.5-point underdogs in that. Now, switching to the Shark Tank. Here we go. You ready? Our NFL segment, the Shark Tank.
Let's go.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, this is a lot easier when we're in person. Okay. All right, we're going to start with primetime games. And so the Thursday night game is Vikings versus Rams. Okay, and the Vikings are -3 coming off their first loss of the season. Jim, what's
I'm actually going to hold off on this one because I'm going to feature it later in my picks.
Okay. So next primetime game would be the...
Well, you can still pick it. You can still pick it.
Oh, that's true. I think Vikings. Give me Vikings -3. I think they come back strong. Also, you want to talk about Titans, Lions. Lions are -11.5. That's a lot of points.
So many points.
I know, but the Bills covered it pretty much.
Mason Rudolph started this last week, allegedly, because Will Levis was hurt.
Big allegedly.
So, don't know who's going to start in this game. Don't really think it matters because Mason was really good in the first half, tailed off in the second half. He didn't really bring anything to the table that Levis didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't think that matters. But 11.5 points?
Jett, you're not going to like this, but Detroit's just a wagon. Give me Detroit -11.5. I've seen them beat up on the Cowboys by 30, and so that's a lot of points. So if you take the Titans, I wouldn't be surprised here.
Is it at home for the Titans?
It's in Detroit.
It's in Detroit? Dude, oh my gosh. That's
going to be okay.
Give me Detroit.
Give me Detroit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
11?
Oh, my gosh. All right, Cowboys-Niners is the Sunday night game. Great Sunday night game. Give me the Niners -4. I'm fading the Cowboys here all day.
Yeah, I'm picking the Niners too. They didn't look great yesterday against the Chiefs, but the Cowboys are still the dumpster fire.
Give me and then the Monday night game, Giants versus Steelers. Give me the Russell Wilson-led Steelers, putting up the most points they have. in a long time, and since Russell Wilson hadn't played since like Thanksgiving last year, and he came out balling a whole week of really prepping and everything after that game under his belt, in another primetime game against the Giants, who really struggled against the Eagles on Sunday. Give me the Steelers -6. That defense, new quarterback slinging the ball downfield more than Justin Fields was able to. His quarterback mobility is less, but he's able to push that ball downfield, and because they have a good run game, that makes you two-dimensional, which means the less, what we talked about earlier, the less the defense can predict, the more success your offense is going to have. Give me the Steelers -6.
Yeah, retweet everything you said. I want to change my line of the week to that. You just sold me on it so hard. Yeah, definitely give me the Steelers to cover.
Okay, Jett, my line of the week is going to be the Chargers -7.5 against the Saints. I will fade Spencer Rattler until I can't no more.
He did look really bad.
So that's my line of the week. What say you?
I'm not going to fade Spencer Rattler because I still trust.
No.
I still believe. And so looking to my line of the week, I'm going to take the Vikings -3 against the Rams. That's that Thursday night game you were talking about.
I like that.
I really like this Vikings team.
I love that, actually. I love that.
It was a really tough loss against the Lions, a game that could have gone either way. The Rams, I think Cooper Kupp might be back this week, which does raise issues.
Yes, that does help, but I think he's still questionable.
Okay.
Yes.
But still, 3 points?
I know. That's
3
not
points?
enough.
The Rams team played pretty close against the Raiders last week. So I think 3 points for the Vikings is free money.
All right, Jett. Shark Tank, who let the underdogs out? I
like the suspense.
Okay, all right. Mine's going to be as risky as it possibly can be.
What you got?
Give me, if the Browns start Jameis Winston, they are 9.5-point dogs against the Ravens. Give me the Jameis Winston-led dog. I like those change-up quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Give that to.
I actually love that pick.
Okay.
Did you see they played Thompson Robinson though?
They did play Thompson Robinson, but Jameis Winston came in late.
Okay, right.
He came in late, and I think almost threw a touchdown pass, if not throw a touchdown.
Yeah, I love that pick. Mm-hmm. If they start Winston, I absolutely love that pick. I guess that's why it's a little risky. You don't know exactly who they're going to go with.
Exactly.
For my dog of the week, I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
He's letting us have fun.
The Cardinals, who are underdogs versus the Dolphins.
Who is Tua going to be back? Maybe not. We don't know. Here we go. How
really
you doing?
Don't know.
Keep it moving.
So another little bit of a gamble here, but either way, I still really like this Cardinals team. They've had a tough couple weeks, but I think their offense is really good. I think they have a couple playmakers on defense. They're 3.5-point underdogs at Dolphins, so they're going to have to go across the country. Deal with that and play a good game to win. But this is the NFL. They got that stuff figured out. They do this weekly. Give me the Cardinals to beat the Dolphins outright. They're +154.
I love that. Great.
Let's go.
Great. I love that. Great segment by you. Great segment by you. Dog of the week. Okay. We got a special segment here.
Let's go.
Final segment to conclude. We're going to go to one of our favorite segments, the next town over, where we spotlight a game outside of Williamson County. We're going to travel again up to East Tennessee, where it's 39 degrees apparently in the morning. Okay, I know I've mentioned that allegedly. And we are going to spotlight not only just this Maryville team who played Cleveland on a region game. They ended up winning. They beat Cleveland to win the region this early in the season, okay? They play Alcoa next week, who's a big rival for them. I didn't know this. Alcoa's 3A. I don't know what they're doing in 3A, but they just dominate
every year.
But they're a great team. After the game, our crew, the Students of the Game crew, caught up with superstar quarterback Lil Bill, Will Jones, okay, nicknamed Lil Bill.
That's a great name.
And the first 3 touchdowns for Maryville, he ran the first 2 in off of read options, and he then threw the one before the half. And then at the end, to cap it off, he had a 76-yard touchdown pass. So just to get his crew, our crew, to catch up with him after, big congrats to him on the wig. Big congrats to him. I played a great game. Check it out what he had to say to our crew here.
Little Bill, congrats on the win, man. Congrats on the win. Hey, quick questions here. How would you compare your throwing style or your skills in general to former Tennessee Tech starting quarterback Big Mike Jones, your father?
Yeah, I think throwing the ball, we're pretty much the same. But
Okay.
I think I got him in the run game.
You did look quick out there. Multiple rushing scores.
So I think I'm a little more versatile than he was, but he was a great player.
Okay, after your third score, okay, you ran the first two in, then you threw one in, and then after I saw you look over to the opposing sideline, and give a little money celebration. What was going through your mind on the celebration? Was that just the competition, the emotions?
Region championship. So we wanted to put them out. That was a big game for us. So just the energy of the game kind of got me, and then I gave him a little money signal.
I respect that.
Had to show him what we were about.
Hey, congrats on the big dub and Regis Little Bill. Appreciate you.
Not to sound like every family on Family Feud here, but great answer. Good answer. Good answers. I mean, what a mature guy. Just a sophomore, by the way.
Yeah, big win for them. Shout out to Lil Bill.
Lil Bill, the boys. Yeah. Okay, so that really concludes the preview episode. Cannot wait for the Mount Juliet game this week. Cannot wait to watch the boys play. You could even say that we ready. We ready to watch the boys play. We ready. Okay, so any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Exactly what you said. Excited for the boys.
Franklin Faithful, we'll see you Friday night out Mount Juliet.